Hello everybody and welcome back to Coldover, where it seems like Coldover is starting to go the way of most towns that are built on extracting natural resources. Once the natural resources run out, the town won't last too much longer. We're starting to go that way. We're starting to see some pretty consistent negative growth. We're not seeing much for demand in residential or in industry or offices. There's a small commercial demand. I've zoned a little bit more here. I've also zoned a little residential, because it feels like it's just been a very long time since we've had that happening. Also, this forestry area is starting to become somewhat developed, which is nice. This over here is not. This is becoming somewhat developed, and Briarwood Park is starting to deplete its oil reserves. So that's fine. Now, this is still an issue. And I don't know what to say about this, honestly. I think this is just a problem with the pathfinding. I built this bridge here wondering how much traffic was actually wanting to go this direction. That was the reason for this. I did not think this would improve the traffic situation. In fact, I was under the impression that it would hurt the traffic situation. That said, I do need to make sure that there's a stop sign there. But this was just to visualize how much traffic wants to flow this way, and the answer is not a whole lot. So ultimately, I think this is fine. Now, it does look like there was finally some usage of this bypass, but like they're preferring to back up in 2 lanes really far back rather than just use the bypass. And I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. There's a stop sign here, there's no stop sign here. They would prefer to back up all the way back here rather than just use the bypass and merge in over here. I don't know. The pathfinding of the traffic in this game baffles me. It's truly strange. I don't know what else to say about it other than I don't understand. It does look like this is getting more heavily utilized now. We might want to think about, instead of having it be located here, where we're already trying to do some cross-traffic shenanigans over here, we may want to think about actually having it located somewhere up here? Like that. I'm not sure how helpful that actually is. But it's a thing. So yeah, ultimately, I'm not sure what else we can do with this intersection. Like, they're insisting on just backing up. Like, look at this over here. Look at this merge-in attempt. There are 3 lanes, guys. 3 lanes. Or this here, where they're all trying to merge into the center lane. The pathfinding on the traffic in this game definitely needs work. I think that's very clear. Why do they want to be in the center lane? These are all exactly the same. These are all turn lanes, turning this way. Why not utilize all the lanes? Some of them do, but most of them only utilize the center lane. I don't know. It's baffling. At any rate, we have some residential demand. What is this? And it's gone. The area that I put up is being built up. Also, you may notice our income is a little higher. I realized that our taxes weren't set to 12% on all of the zone types, just on some. So I upped that up to 12%. We've also got some sickness going on over here. We had some over here. I built this hospital. I don't know what it is with hospitals either. They don't send out ambulances for some reason. I find it very strange, so we should probably only be building medical clinics, because those actually send out ambulances. Something like that. There. Well, it hasn't sent out ambulances yet. Probably because this road is super busy, is my guess. Or because the ambulances were already dispatched, but because of the traffic are having a hard time getting there. Now, I would find that to be a bit surprising because the traffic isn't too extreme up in this region. Like, traffic is reasonably fine over here. Why are these guys stopping? I have no idea. Why are you stopping? This is literally a protected turn. Just go. There's no one that could possibly be in this section of road to stop you. Don't stop. Just go. There is no stop sign. I'm very confused right now. It's not possible for there to be anything blocking this turn. Yeah, it's not possible. All three of these turn this way. These two lanes are the only two lanes that could possibly go here.
Giants roamed the earth, grazing off the lush vegetation of the time.
And there's 3 lanes to go into. So even if there's another person turning at the same time as you, there are 3 lanes and only 2 cars. Just go. You'll be fine.
By using their eons old
just like these guys do.
To fuel your 5-door wagon.
I don't know.
Making it the
traffic in this game is weird. Dino oil. There's no doubt about that.
The power of bones.
Maybe I should just ignore the traffic and move on.
As I go around the city, I see people doing so many interesting things. Driving, working,
I mean, here it makes sense, right? Because there's a stop sign here.
The city has a lot to offer.
And I did that to try to encourage them to utilize this bypass.
Drop me a line and let me know.
But not very many of them are actually doing it. Some are, I suppose.
Colossal ore. We are the leading producer of minerals.
And they're actually getting onto the highway quickly, unlike these guys.
Which means you're benefiting from our services whether you know us or not. No
yeah,
matter what
I think we should probably just move on from that for right now and be like, it is what it is. Without the traffic AI being a little bit smarter, it's going to be difficult to fix this particular issue. It's like our central intersection here. And this is always going to be our most busy intersection. I kind of feel like this is about as good as we're going to get.
You're listening to Cities Radio, the best music from around the globe.
Well, maybe not the best we're going to get, but the best that I'm going to create. I'm definitely feeling like this series is wrapping up. Like, I'm not sure exactly how much longer it will go. Briarwood Park is starting to get a little bit tapped out over here. We've still got to expand down this way, up over here. But we're definitely making progress on getting that oil out of there. We're making very, very slow progress over in Victoria District on the ore. And a lot of that is because what meager industrial demand that we have is being snapped up by these lumber regions. That said, these will be filling up pretty soon. We currently have a small residential demand. There's still residential available here. But I'll do one more long block there. Now, I do want to check in real quick on our metros. And just see what we've got going on here. We need to be on... This is traffic. But actually, traffic is fine to look at. Yeah, we can see here where the problem issues are. And it's pretty much exactly where I said. Right here and right here. There's a bit of one here as well, and that's, I think, created by this 90-degree corner. That said, I'm not sure exactly how relevant it is. I mean, we could redo this, I suppose. If we did, that'll just put even more pressure on this intersection. But what we could do, in theory, is we could simply take this in over here-ish. We'd need to get rid of this. This road would come in basically like this, except I probably want it over a little bit more. So this would come in like right over here or so, and then this would connect in something like that. Of course, we'd have to flip it around. This is the primary way that they're going here, so that's fine. We could also put in a little bit of a branch like that. And we can see what that ends up doing. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's just an experimental thing. Just how many people are attempting to come this way and go over here? Almost none, currently. That might change as this area becomes a little bit more developed, especially since there's no metro over there. That said, one thing we could potentially do is take this down to the ground and go over. So essentially this would come down, straight down to the ground. Something like this. We're going to run into some probable space issues like this. So we would have to, for sure, go up and over. So maybe this would actually have to come up over this way. And then merge in like this. I'm not necessarily okay with that sharpness of this corner. We may have to smooth this out a little bit by taking this up and in kind of like this. I mean, I really want to get it alongside like this for the merge in. I mean, we could, in theory... I hate it. It's awful. We could do something kind of like this. Alternately, maybe something like this. That works. As I said, though, that just adds more strain over here. Interesting. So now the backup over here, I don't think is caused by the design of this intersection, at least yet. This will probably cause issues in the future, but for right now, I think that this has sufficient throughput. The issue now is being caused by this backup here, from people attempting to merge on. Which makes me wonder, what would happen if we simply changed the angle of this merge? Instead of merging here, what if, hypothetically, we brought it up over this way? We would have to take out this road temporarily. What if we brought it up over this way, like this, and connected this in theory, like that? Of course, that's not exactly viable. That would mean we get rid of this section and connect this in. Kind of like, it would need to go this way, kind of like that. Of course, we would need to flip that. No, not like that at all. Hang on, this is not correct. Kind of like this. And then this was a simple turn-off. Kind of like that, except flipped around, obviously. And then we eliminated this bypass entirely. And this isn't getting much use. Of course, we'd want to get this road back in. This is going to be complicated with the pillars where they are. So we would take these over ever so slightly. Take it up kind of like... I need to adjust the camera here. Take it up kind of like this. And then in like that to accommodate. I mean, this is getting increasingly ugly. The question is, does this work? We're having an issue with merging here. They're trying to merge into the center lane, it looks like, or something. Something's trying to merge, and that's causing issues. That said, once this cleans up, if this cleans up, then we can determine if this is working. I feel like it probably is, to the point where I actually want to remove this section as well and create the same sort of system. I want that rebuilt. And this would go there and there. This would simply come down like that. This would come down over this way, something like this or so, and come in like that. Hypothetically, anyway. Okay. Yeah, that's not quite gonna work. I would want this to come and link up over here. But I need to determine the curvature here. And I think that might be easiest to do if I were to do this. And then this would come in like that. And that would come in essentially straight, except that I would want that to actually merge in over this way. So I'd want to use the curve tool if I can help it. Okay, I guess it'll do that. And naturally this section has to turn around, as does this section. I mean, this is definitely a bit lumpy and misshapen at this point. But the question is, does the traffic flow better at these angles rather than the 90 degrees? And I think it does. We're definitely having a traffic merging issue right up over here. But I think a lot of that has to do with the current volume of traffic, which might change in the future. Looks like we have a large contingent of vehicles attempting to exit over here. I'm going to upgrade this to a 2-lane exit. So that we hopefully have a little bit less slowdown over this way. And there's definitely a large amount of merge attempts happening right up over here. I like how I said that I was going to just leave the traffic, and I can't. I'll probably attempt to reshape this a little bit because I'm not necessarily okay with the overall shape of it. It looks real ugly. But I think this is a successful proof of concept on avoiding the 90-degree turns. Overall, we need to let this run a little bit further and alter a few things, which I'll probably end up doing off camera. I'll reshape this and make it a little bit more symmetrical. This traffic just comes absolutely to a stop. And it's all because of these merge attempts up here. Okay. I feel like this is more efficient. It's not, strictly speaking, efficient, but it's more efficient. So, I mean, I definitely want to reshape it. I feel like that will help its efficiency. If I make these corners a little more smooth and a little less lumpy. So actually, let me just do that right now. I might as well. So I want to take all of these out to this point here. I want to remove this section of road, and we will redo this. Make this back to where it was nice and smooth. And we're going to rebuild essentially the same intersection, but with fewer legacy corners, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So the primary goal of this intersection is to have this flow smoothly in like this, right? And then this flows smoothly in up here like this. So that's step one. Step two is to bring this down over this way, perhaps like this, which would mean a similar turn right there. And then this comes in about like that, and like that, approximately. And then this would merge in, but I want it to come and bend the other direction for smoothness purposes. I mean, it could come in like this, I suppose. Like that? That's essentially the same thing. With essentially the same problem. The question there becomes, what exactly is the point of having this bend like this rather than just go straight and connect in? And then we're back to our original design, pretty much. So I'm actually going to take this back out, and I want to adjust this bottom portion a little bit more. I want to bring this down about like this, and then up about like that, and then in. And what I really want is this to not bend like that. This is a better bend. But, I'm noticing that this isn't quite right. Okay, so we bring this up to, actually, right over here. Technically, this needs to be in a little bit. So, like, right there. Like that. That's about correct. This is one square over too far, actually. Okay. I'm actually taking that completely out because I want to do this a little bit more cautiously here. So that is 4 and 4, so like that. Actually, that's 5. No, that's 4. What am I talking about? I can't count. So we take that up to there, and then bend that in. Take this down to right here. And then bend that in. It's not quite right. Let's do it this way. This needs to be, I think, right here. Yes. That is approximately correct. That is close enough to correct. Okay. Now what I really, really want is for this to merge in over here. Kind of like that. That changes the shape of this dramatically. That is not cool. The fact that that adjusted this curve so much, just building that, but now that's fine. Okay, whatever. You know what? I'll accept it. course, it did the same thing over here. And I'm kind of not okay with it. Something kind of like that. Then this would have to connect in. Whoa. Everyone is super confused, myself included. I will be honest, I don't know what's happening here. This is baffling. Let's get rid of that. That is absolutely the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in this game. Okay, let's try this one more time. I want to straight line this in. Yeah, see, it does this. And I don't want it to. Okay, I guess that'll do. And we'll let that run for a little bit. I'll probably tweak it a little bit off camera. We'll see how that ends up working out. Probably not amazingly well. I feel like our traffic here is just too high for any of these sorts of systems. However, it is time to put yet another cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.